We're recording. Okay. So, hey, so I wanted to call you because we've gotten a lot of great feedback, a lot of interest in the new Campus Explorers program. And since I'm at the office right now and you are at home
Not.
right now, you're not there because the kids and our schedules and stuff. But I said it's important. You said it's important. I said let's just jump on a call. We're recording this for the families to get a little bit more information about the Explorers program, which is the new trip program for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So I thought it would be good if we just talk through the idea, what it is, how it works, what may be different about it this year, and why we're introducing it for 2025, and give a little insight. And then I'm going to take from what we talk about, kind of create a little FAQ to put up on the website also so that folks can read about all these new important details about the program. Does that all make sense?
Awesome.
Okay, great. So I guess we start with, just overview. What is Camps R Us Explorers? What do we want folks to know about this?
Sure. The main thing parents need to know is that we really take the parent surveys and camper responses really seriously at the end of every summer. So please, if you're returning, feel free. I think, can you still submit, Jay?
For what?
For the parent surveys from 20.
Yeah, no, parent surveys are still open.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll keep them
They're
open
still
for a
open.
while.
So if you do not have an opportunity, we're all working. I totally get it. Craziness, juggling schedules and back to school. But if you can still provide that feedback, it's just going to be super, super important for us so we can continue to modify and grow all of our programs to the needs of the children that, continue to change, because that's where we're at. So for our Explorer program, super excited about it. You're going to see 3 trips a week. Trips are going to be on the same consistent days each week. So the 3 trips each week are going to be on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. What do the trips look like? Okay. One day a week, we will be going to the beach. So every Wednesday, I believe, tentatively, that is going to be our beach trip. That is going to change from previous summers where we typically would be going to the pool. The reason we're doing this is we've found that a lot of our 5th through 8th graders enjoyed the beach trip a lot more than their weekly trip to the pool. It provides a lot more opportunities. If the kids don't want to go swimming, we will be purchasing specific beach materials and toys. So let me give you an example. We'll be bringing can jam and what's the other, spike ball and sandcastle toys and things like that. So just being at the beach, I think they enjoyed, because they're a bit older, they enjoyed a little bit more of the freedom. If you watch our videos, I'm controlled freedom. But they like the ability to kind of pick and choose what they wanted to do. As we're at the pool, you're kind of stuck. You're either going in the pool or you're stuck sitting out on the side where we can't really bring all of these, beach toys and games, to the pool.
So if I can kind of say, and I was at a couple of those beach trips and they're pretty amazing because it provides an opportunity for campers to engage and socialize and be part of that experience together. But it's unlike any other field trip we do because there's so much. And again, we use the word freedom. Of course, we're supervised. We're actively supervising. We have rules about going in the water, all that kind of stuff, setting up by the lifeguard stations. The safety is always there, but
of course,
giving them just the opportunity to be kids, but also be together. They're experiencing these things. They're making memories. It's a whole different kind of summer vibe for this age group.
absolutely. And they definitely, if you have a child that's returning and they went on that beach trip, please speak to them, because the response that we got was overwhelming from staff and camper alike. That was one of their favorite trips for the entire summer. They loved the flexibility and freedom to be able to go get a snack, come back, play a little beach volleyball. It was really a great day. So in any event, that'll be, I believe we're looking at Wednesdays right now, but of course, everything is subject to change, right? We are in the very beginning stages of booking our vendors and things like that. So one day a week will be our beach trip. Included in your tuition With the Explorers, we will have 2 trips each week as well. One I'm going to call a half-day trip. A half-day trip will look something like a 4 or 5 hour trip. I'll say between 3 and 5. I'm sorry, between a 3 and 5 hour trip. Usually, it'll be local. It'll definitely be, within a half hour to an hour driving distance from anywhere on the island. So, and they will be, leaving camp and coming back, obviously, for all of trips, for all the Explorer trips, whether it's a full day or a half day trip. All trips will be day trips, right? So they're going to leave, go do something super exciting, and come back the same day. So just to give you some examples, maybe that would help, of some venues we're looking into. Again, booking has just started, so it's really, really hard to say, but just to give you guys kind of an idea as to what I'm thinking for our half day trips. Venues that we've visited before might make a return. So something like, let me see, hold on, sorry. Urban Air. That was a big one. Not sure if we're going to go with them again, but that would be a 3 or 4 hour trip. Something like Dave and Buster's, where they had a catered lunch. I would do one or the other. I wouldn't do both, because I want to offer like a nice variety of opportunities. Something like Gravity Vault is one of the places, where Island Rocks, if you're familiar with it, where the kids are rock climbing. So again, it would be a 3 to 5 hour trip. It would depend on the venue, of course, and what they're doing. And they would be coming back to camp before normal, business hours are over. So, before the 5 o'clock hour. And let's say their trip would end on a half day trip. Let's say they're done with what they're doing and they're coming back to camp at around 2 o'clock. From the hours of 2 to 5, they would do the normal, scheduled camp activities that we do on camp every day.
Right. So that's a good point to jump in here. When it comes to how kind of camp is structured for Explorers, we're talking about all current 5th through 8th graders. The camp hours are basically the same, but we are getting the added benefit of, sometimes there's an early drop for a trip that may be a little earlier scheduled or further away. Sometimes there's a late pickup because of, again, the same reason, further venue, a little bit of travel time, but you're getting full days, right?
Yes.
For full day trips, I know you didn't get into full day trips
Yeah,
yet,
it was
but
just, yeah. You want
I
me to
cut
get
you
into
off.
that a
We'll
little bit?
get there. But for full day trips, we're going to include things like lunch in most cases.
Yep.
But parents in the Explorers program are never paying extended hours if they have an Explorer. But that also extends to their younger siblings, if they have them, if they have to come early or stay late because their sibling is traveling on a field trip. We're not going to charge them for extended on those days either.
Of course, we don't want to have you drop off your 12-year-old, say at 7:30 for maybe a Six Flags trip, and then have to come back at
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
And we know that firsthand because we have 11 and 8. One
Yep.
qualifies for this program. She's super looking forward to it and, would be excited to be part of this. But the other one, 8 years old, not yet qualified. So
Do you want me to speak a little bit about the full day trips? I'm sorry.
yeah, jump in for full day trips. Before we jump in for full day trips, let's just also be clear too. We're offering this trip program as an all-inclusive trip program. So everything Cheryl's describing as far as trips go, there's no extra fees for bonus trips in the Explorers program. That is a new feature that goes along with the new programming. So you're not paying a la carte. You're getting them all included in your camp tuition. We're still keeping for campers K to 4, still keeping bonus trips, still doing the a la carte thing to give them a taste, get their feet wet kind of thing. Once you hit 5th through 8th grade, as you'll hear us talk about, their needs change a little bit. So let's talk about full day trips, then we'll jump back into what's different about Camps for Us Explorers.
Sure. So just to go back for 2 seconds, some new venues that I'm looking at for half day trips. Empire Adventure Park. It's a new adventure park that opened in Westbury, New York. Top Golf is a big one that a lot of people are really pushing for. So yeah, especially Jen. So again, things like that. I didn't want to give the impression that it was the same venues. I don't mind. Some of them are staples. The kids really, really love Dave and Buster's. They love the catered lunch they do there. But again, every year, you want to add and change things up a bit. All right. So those are our half day trips. For our full day trips, that's exactly what it sounds like, right? It's a full day off campus. Typically for these trips, you're going to need to drop off either early or perhaps pick up a little bit late. Obviously, all of that information would be provided way ahead of time as we're starting to really solidifying and get these. We want these contracts signed with our vendors as soon as humanly possible. So we're going to have all that information out to you as earlier than ever before, than I believe we've ever had, Jay. So
Yes,
let's
I
talk
can
about.
confirm. I can confirm camp calendars will be done earlier than ever. Trips will be, but this is the first bookings of the year, is Explorers bookings. Yeah, before anything
Correct.
else.
Another half day venue is also Scotts Point, which we're almost at contract with, and they're going to be phenomenal. Look them up if you haven't. Okay, so for full day trips, we're looking at some of, again, our typical ones that we've done before. I like to alternate year on, year off. Something like Splish Splash, something like Six Flags. Again, we want to spend the whole length of the day there because there's just that much to do. However, we are looking at a bunch of new venues. Crystal Springs Resort in New York, in Jersey, if you've been there, absolutely amazing. They do day passes there. They've got a bunch of different pools, slides, a lot of kids activities. We're looking at Liberty Science Center, Brownstone Adventure Park, Mountain Creek Water Park, a Ducks game, an all access Madison Square Garden core. Of course, the Mets game, is one of them.
Yeah, I have to say also the Yankees reached out this year for Yankee fans. Possibly this might work. We'll see. Every year I get asked about the Yankees. I just want you to know we do have a rep there. They just usually can't get tickets all in one section, but maybe we'll make that work. We'll see.
And things like seal and whale watching at a Freeport. So again, none of these venues have been secured yet. We're still in the research phase. It's really important for me that our team and I get a chance to go explore these venues in person. It's really important for the integrity of the program that we go and visit these new locations and make sure that we believe that the kids are going to have the best fun humanly possible there. So we're still in the stages of doing that, but I just wanted to give everybody kind of an idea as to where these trips are going. So again, full day, you may have to drop off or pick up early. A lot of new venues, and they would be out of campus for the entirety of the day.
Yeah, so I want to jump in there as far as scheduling goes and how the program's structured a little bit. So we're talking about 3 trip days: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Mhm.
We're talking about being on campus for the kids who opt into the full week program, 5 days a week. You can add 2 days on campus, and that's going to be more of your traditional camp experience with Gaga and arcade and game room and sports and edible art and all that cool stuff. All the activities that our 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders love, and kind of not so much the ones that they don't love as much. Scheduled and curated for them so they can have a camper experience, but also looking to be intentional about scheduling special events, traditions, entertainment coming on campus as much as we can. Of course, it's not going to be everything, but it's going to be a big chunk of their summer, that they can add on if they want more than the trip experience. The trip experience is at the core of the Explorer program. We're literally exploring Long Island and the surrounding areas. Of course, going into New York and the city and Jersey and upstate and all that kind of stuff. I think there was even a trip in Connecticut, possibly.
Yeah, it's not that far.
It's not far, especially if we do a ferry ride or something like that. We'll see. I don't know if buses can do ferries, but I don't know why.
I wanted to bring to light something else that's really unique about the Explorer program that I'm really, really excited for because I got a chance to witness it firsthand. On these days where we're doing full campus trips, all of our explorers throughout all of our 10 campuses are going to be traveling together. And that provides a really, really wonderful experience for our campers. It gives them an opportunity to meet kids from surrounding neighborhoods that they might not have had a chance to meet otherwise. So a perfect example of this is when we went to the beach. If you go ahead and talk to your children about that beach trip, if they were there, and this will be happening on our beach days as well. I remember setting everybody up, and at one point I had like Williston Park campus right next to Baldwin campus, which was right next to maybe it was Belmore, East Rockaway. I can't quite recall, but I was able to have all 3 campuses next to each other, and I got to watch the staff and campers all get to meet each other. It's like being a part of this like club. Right, everybody has this kind of bond already because you're all part of the same program, but you've never had a chance to meet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so it's meeting children, it's meeting other peers your own age, knowing already that you have this in common. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It's the same thing when the staff see each other too. It's like we're in this together. We've got this really amazing experience that we're going through at our campuses, and now on field trips, whenever we combine campuses and did multi-campus trips, it makes it that much more special, right?
Yep.
Or, I've even experienced where like cousins who go to different campuses saw each
Yep.
other. I know
Yep.
kids at different campuses or campuses where I've worked before versus campuses where family or friends go. And it's always fun to see people who I haven't seen in a while. But then also through the magic of, social media and technology, you can remain friends and stay close. And that's a
Absolutely.
big part of why we're doing this program too. We found through parent surveys, through interactions with campers, Cheryl and I will talk with campers. I don't want to say we interview them, but we talk and ask questions, and we ask staff to, hey, hang out for a minute when you're getting on a bus, or, just have quick conversations when we interact and see them. Building these friendships and creating memories, and not just creating the memories, but like remembering how you created the memories. Like if you have a friend who knows how you got those memories of summer, that strength and that unity and that camaraderie is like, I mean, it could be life altering. It could last for their
Absolutely.
lifetime. And I have experiences like that. I overshare this story too much, but like I know how a lot of my best friends' memories were made at camp because I was there for them.
Mhm.
And I made the same memories at the same time. It's like it's any type of relationship you have with friends and growing up. And this is really a big part of it. And, developing that and being able to provide that, we've learned over the past number of years in doing research and evaluating that research that most campers in this age group crave more travel. They want to get out and about in the world.
And I say to that, if you've got a returning, if your child has spent a summer with us, talk to them, ask them their favorite memories. And while camp does the Gaga tournaments and all those things, they
Yeah, and Polo
provide
War and Shindig and stuff.
absolutely
Of
those
course,
memories.
of course.
Are,
But the ones that they say first, it's like, remember we went to DreamWorks?
yeah,
Do you remember when Billy climbed up the rock wall and got up there all the way to the top and rang the bell? Like,
specifically for our older campers.
yeah, for our older campers, for the most part, their stronger memories have been off campus together. And we're fostering that togetherness, right? We even say an important part of it is your bus trip to your venue too, like
Mhm.
talking and hanging out and getting your eyes away from a device, right? Which is very popular among fifth through eighth graders. And, we all have our opinions about technology and building that into the camp program, but being able to connect, create relationships, to talk to each other, but then having things to talk about on the way home while you're keeping your eyes open because you're exhausted from a great day. That's a really important part of growing up, and that experience of doing it together and building friendships and building relationships with staff. We've learned that over time, kids are developing, and this generation of kids really craves that travel and craves the tripping experience and craves going through things that are new and exciting and novel and maybe a little outside of their comfort zone. Like, I tried this because my friends inspired me to try it, not because I felt
Right.
pressured to, but because my friends were doing it and said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you tried it? No pressure, but like, we're here together. Let's give it a shot. You're safe. You're with us. Like, come on.
I
Um,
mean, the fact is, Jay, we are parents of a sixth grader, right? So
yeah.
we're in it with everybody else. And it can be difficult at times to convince your kid, put the phone down, step away from the iPad, get away from the video games, right? On a whole, I feel like this is a constant, struggle, right? Is that we're all facing. But if you spend time with these kids and you go off on these trips, I can't recall one time over the past summers where I would have to say to a camper, "You're not supposed to have your phone. Put your phone away while they're on a
While
trip."
they're on a trip.
While
Yeah,
they're on
that
they're
happens on
just
campus.
they
Doesn't
are
happen on
just
trips.
completely engaged and still being kids at
Yep.
that point. And
Yeah.
ultimately, that's what we want more of.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why, we had the onus to really advance our teen and tween, programming, really to give them a curated experience. We want things to be fun. We want them to be engaging. They're all age appropriate. Um, we're providing some, continuity week to week, by modifying our swimming program to include now the beach, which is just that advancement of being older and being able to be part of, you know, a beach experience, totally different than a swimming experience at the pool. This program is also going to benefit our camper age children too, because K-4s now will have more space on campus.
Correct.
We'll have more activities that are built and designed for them, and then also have their own exclusive field trips.
Yep.
We bring them together for a couple, like we're all going to do Adventureland together. I'm sure we're going to do a movie trip or something like that together. So we're talking about, the benefits of a program like this, but also why did we decide to modify what we offer and advance and create something new? We're always trying to evolve camp based on the feedback we get from campers when we see them in person. We don't ever hand a camper a piece of paper or a QR code and say, hey, fill out the survey. We ask them, we talk to them. And we also have other campers talk to camper groups, the staff, the directors, see parents at arrival or dismissal. But parent surveys, the overwhelming comment on parent surveys was, we love trips. Our kids love the trips. We want more trips. We want more trips. We want more trips.
Yep.
We want bigger and better always, right? So we want to provide that. And so, after receiving an overwhelming response from that over the past number of summers, it really started in 2022-ish.
Yep.
After we got out of the pandemic, right? Thank goodness. And we really brought back trips full time. We really jumped back into trips in 22 and 23. And this year, of course, in 24, we kept adding and adding and adding bonus trips, bonus trips, bonus trips. What we did with this program is we have the dual benefit of providing as much tripping opportunity to campers as we can, but also giving them a chance to get the best of both worlds with the camper experience on campus. But also the benefit for parents because they're all included in tuition.
Correct.
What you're paying for. You can also now, with this time of year, you can get in with early bird discounts anywhere between 5 and 20% off.
Mhm.
So you can spread out the payments for all those trips, whereas bonus trips are added in usually mid to late summer, and you're getting that extra bill at the end of the summer. We know how that hits. Now you can spread them out throughout the year after you're getting, your big discounts. So it makes a whole lot of sense. I did want to mention to folks too, when it comes to having siblings of different ages and stuff like that, you still get your sibling discounts. You can still decide, if you're not sure about the 3 or 5 day part of the trip program, you can decide later and make those changes just to get in with your discounts. As always, register for the most camp that you want and reduce later, because if you register now for the full summer, you get the full discount. You'll have it prorated for the rest. But if you register for a short session now and try to add on later, it's at the prevailing rate. Just understand that. Because, as always, part of our mission is to try and keep this thing as affordable as possible. Now, of course, we're talking about a trip program that includes 24 field trips. So, of course, it's going to cost a little bit more than traditional camp. But we kept it as affordable as we could. And then also bumping from the true trip program, the 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, adding on those extra 2 days for the 5-day program, it's only 10% more in cost for 40% more camp.
Right.
So keep that in mind too, folks. If you need that full time, if you need flexibility of a 4-day, you can add up to that 5-day for not too much extra, pay it off over time. And of course, get your early bird discounts now through September 15th. So, I feel like we're getting great response so far. Registration for this program has been open for only a couple of days over the weekend. We opened Friday evening, and it's been open for a couple of days. There's already a lot of folks registered for this program. We have to be honest and say this program has a lower capacity than our typical camper programs at each campus. So keep that in mind. I'm going to be honest. I don't think we're going to fill in September, but we got a lot of kids registered so far. So keep that in mind to try and get in early and to take care of all your camp business now before the school year gets out of hand and the holidays hit and next year comes and then the spring comes and the weather starts to warm up and you say, I forgot to register for camp. We're going to be putting up an FAQ based on this quick conversation. This is a little bit more official than most of Cheryl and I's we don't talk like this normally, but we figured it's not official. I don't usually have a microphone hooked up when we're having a phone call, but we both said to each other, our schedules took us apart this afternoon as they tend to do, as an active family and owning a business together. So we wanted to get on and do kind of a hybrid of a podcast and a conversation, just talking more about the program. But of course, if you have any questions about Camps R Us Explorers or any other opportunity at Camps R Us this coming summer, definitely reach out to us. You can call us at 516-935-2267 or email info@campsrus.org. There is a bunch of cool information coming out over the next week or so as well other stuff that's included in the camp tuition moving forward, some new changes for one of our other teen groups. We're going to be releasing that information very soon, so look forward to that. And I'm sure we'll all see you soon. We're also going to be announcing our Fall Family Fun Day coming up in October. So we're excited there. If you ever wanted to see what camp is like in person as a parent and get to play and ride on all the stuff, that's a great day. So that's all coming soon. For now, I think we took up enough of folks' time, and I will see you later. All right. All right, everyone. Thanks so much. I don't have that going on, so I'm just going to go like this. And
All right.
all right.
Bye.
Bye.